tone for this, if that's all right. I figured that would be easiest.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm not about high production values anyway. I'm just a guy with a shitty USB mic from Amazon. That's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all you need right now.
So how's it going?
Pretty good. We got back from doing a short run out of town yesterday, so I've basically slept the last day and a half, and that has been awesome.
How was it? Where'd you guys play?
So do you know the Sound That Ends Creation?
I think I know the name.
Yeah, he's like a one-man, like, kind of mathcore kind of grind project, and he was doing like a month-long tour, and we just hopped on the dates with him that he was doing around our like area. So we went from Asheville back to Knoxville to Chattanooga to Murfreesboro. So basically just like from North Carolina through Tennessee.
All the Villes.
Yeah. It was a Ville heavy tour.
What instrument do you play in the band?
So my primary duty is just vocals. I was doing synth for a while too, but the guy that we've been having do our like visual stuff started playing the synth live, and he's a way better synth player than I am. So now I'm back to just vocals, which kind of sucks for me because that means playing live I have nothing to hide behind, but it makes sense, so it's cool.
So the same person's doing visuals and synth?
Yeah.
What are you doing visually?
Usually he makes like some sort of projector reel to put behind as we're going. That he likes to like sneak in little Easter eggs of like really funny stuff, clash with like kind of like violent stuff, I guess. Like all kind of morphed into like our logo, and it switches.
That's pretty cool.
And, yeah, it's usually like really colorful. And then he also makes like all of our merch and stuff.
So what I've noticed about the band aesthetic, at the very least visually, it's that it seems to be a conscious decision to not play into the typical metal imagery of like everything's so super fucking serious.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's like the whole attitude of the band as a whole too, just because like we're making really stupid, absurd music, and like try and act all serious behind that would feel wrong. Also, like, I'm not tough. You could probably kick my ass. I'm okay with that.
Has anyone tried to fight you guys on stage?
No, we make them smile too much to want to fight.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we feel like it's like colorful music, and the art and everything around it should represent that and like kind of capture the spirit of how kind of absurd it is too.
Yeah, the music definitely doesn't lend itself to like a monochrome image of just, like the typical black and white stark contrast photos.
Yeah. And that's not to say that we wouldn't ever do something like that if it was fun, but or I guess if it made sense. But yeah, we're definitely not trying to like cash in on the typical like grindcore aesthetic, I guess. Not that there's anything to be cashed in there in the first place. It just didn't feel like it fit us that well.
Yeah, I was wondering, there's cash in grindcore?
Oh yeah, rats. We're stealing it all.
So how did the band first form?
So the drummer and I have been making music together since high school. And we've been in different bands ever since then, basically. And the current iteration of Rat Punch formed, I guess, well, Rat Punch as a band started in like 2015. And then we had a couple members change out and another couple come in. And the guy who's doing the art and synth now basically joined like maybe like a year and a half ago or something like that. But when we first started going under the moniker Rat Punch, it was in 2015, and we were a different band called Kill Yourself, and we decided that it was probably a good idea to change our name from Kill Yourself. And with the name change, kind of decided we wanted to go in more of like a weird grindcore direction from there. So yeah, I would say around then is like when Rat Punch really started, and then it's like truest form now probably started in like 2017 when our bassist joined, and then recently we had another member come on too who's kind of stirred stuff up a little bit in his own mindset. It's been fun. It's been ever evolving since it and before its conception. So
how do you end up finding like new members? Like just people you know, or you guys like put up? I don't even know if bands do Craigslist ads anymore.
No, we've never done anything like that. It's really just been like, oh, this person's our friend and they play music too. We need a bassist. Will you play bass? And they're like, yeah, I'll totally do that. And then they bring like, you know, their own shit to the table. And it's usually like, you know, with people who we know are kind of like into the same stuff or can like, you know, see the vision, I guess, to put it as lame as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we got our current bassist on board. Is we're friends with him, I guess, either from coming to shows or just talking about music in general. And he also does a radio show with me. And then with the synth / art guy, he was our friend and we really liked his art. So we kept asking him to make stuff for us. And eventually it was just like, I'm tired of you guys asking to pay me for stuff. Just say I do the art for the band and then that'll be fine. And then we realized that he was a way better synth player than I was too. And so then he started doing that.
It's like, so what kind of synth stuff were you doing? Like, were they like melodic lines or just like weird noise shit?
On the first record, it's mostly like harsh noise, just like throw the LFO all the way up, turn the rate, you know, like 2/3 of up, put the wave on like randomizer and mess with the resonance until it sounds like and since then we've kind of been exploring other ways to use it too, just either as like a way to throw in some harmony with the bass, kind of interplay with that, or even like take the lead in some situations and maybe make it sound a little more poppy at times. So we've been experimenting, but originally it was just supposed to be like basically a harsh noise generator.
Right on. So like when you and the drummer founded the band, what bands were you guys initially bonding over?
Oh wow. Initially when we started making this project together, we were really into like I think I was really into like Demolisher and like beatdown bands like that and like hardcore bands. I think we were both really into like Trapped Under Ice, but this was in like high school, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually we're just like, man, we're not tough. This isn't fun. We want to make fun music. Like, I want to go fast and be ridiculous. So you're like, yeah, screw that. Let's make like stupid grindcore. And that's where it went from there. But yeah, originally it was like, yeah, Demolisher or like Trapped Under Ice or, you know, hardcore band X, Y, and Z. And then we started getting more into like, or I was more like, listen to Agoraphobic Nosebleed. They're really fast and kind of funny. And then like early Gorilla Toss 2 was really interesting, and like the Locust and stuff. Mm-hmm. And basically just like going more and more down that rabbit hole.
What do you think is the best Agoraphobic Nosebleed release?
I really like their side of their split with Despise You. And On, I think is what that split is called.
I think so, yeah.
But you know, also Frozen Corpse Stuff with Dope is a classic.
Yes.
I love that one. I think people like to act like they don't think Agorapocalypse is that cool, but I think that album is insane.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah,
And like that drum solo on that one track is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's so funny because
because it's a drum machine, right? He's
yeah,
got
it's
whole
a drum
programmed all that
machine.
shit.
And that whole song's like about how they're never gonna play live.
Which I think they broke that rule. I think they played like a few shows like years ago.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
just
they
like
did
super
start
short
playing live.
sets.
Yeah. When they started playing live, I think they took a line from that song where it's like, we'll take the deposit and not show up and put it on like the back of the merch they made for that show. And I was like, I was really hoping they were going to not show up, but I think that they did.
Yeah, they're too polite.
Yeah. Too nice.
Tell me about your journey as a vocalist. So like, when did you realize, oh, I'd like to try screaming my guts out?
This was kind of in between, like because originally in the band I was playing guitar, but we started getting into more stuff like Brace War, like Agoraphobic Nosebleed. I was like, man, I'm pretty sure I could do vocals like that. Like I can't do great like deep vocals or anything, but I could sound like an idiot. I'd sound like some mid-range dude just about to lose his voice. I think I could do that. And that's pretty much where it started.
Do you still write guitar parts for the band?
It's all like very collaborative. All of us kind of write like everything. If we have an idea for something, someone just will like bring a riff to the table, or like bring like, we should make a part that sounds like kind of like this, but like that. And we'll all kind of like hash it out together. Our guitar player is he fucking shreds, and I'm not that good. So like if I come up with an idea, I'll like sit there and try to play it for him for like 30 seconds, like, oh, I think I got it, dude. And he just nails it and makes it even better than I ever could. And our drummer is insane too. So we'll like demo something out and put like placeholder drums on something with MIDI, and then we'll send it to him, and he will also make it crazier than we thought it could be.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about I guess the collaborative nature of a band, that if you throw an idea at someone, they'll throw it back at you better than you thought. You're like, oh, right.
But yeah, in general, our writing process is all super collaborative. I don't think there's probably not a part in any song where one person could take like 100% of the credit for it.
Have you ever been in a band that had the opposite approach of someone was the band dictator?
Yeah, and it sucked. And I played in that band. I played guitar in that band because I wanted to be in a band, and they were my friends. Mm-hmm. But I like hated the music, and I just was like, yeah, it's fine that I don't have any input in this band because I think it sucks anyway, but I'll play. But that was in high school too. And yeah, looking back at it, it was like, I'm glad I got out of that when I did, because it was lame.
Yeah, I guess that works. Some people are fine being in that kind of environment. I personally, it doesn't work for me. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, your music is, I feel like, even crazier than ours.
Oh, this ain't about me, brother. Don't turn the tables. I would disagree. Like on your latest record, the one with Already Dead Tapes, that guitar playing is crazy. Like I hear like a little bit of like the red chord influence. Yeah, and that's like I couldn't even begin to pick apart like what's going on guitar wise with you guys.
When I listen to your records, I'm wondering, how the hell are you doing so much with natural harmonics? I need to see how you do that so I can copy you.
Yeah, I don't think Imelda's ever played in Knoxville. We've made it to Nashville and Murfreesboro, but not Knoxville. What's the Knoxville scene like? That will change eventually, yeah.
You guys are from out west, right?
Chicago, so we're not too far.
Okay, not that far. Hopefully we'll be able to make it up to Chicago too.
Yeah, please do. What's the scene like in Knoxville? Like, what's going on? Is there like any musical trends that seem to be more popular, or is it pretty much like a mix of everything?
It depends on who you ask. I would say both are true. And like the heavier scene, there's a pretty big wave of like beatdown deathcore style bands. Just kind of like the natural progression of like Whitechapel having been from here, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then like my favorite venue in town, the Pilot Light. There's all kinds of stuff going on there. There's a lot of weird like art punk or like weird electronic noise music and just all kinds of different off the wall stuff going on there. And that's where we like to play a lot. And that's the coolest part about the Knoxville music scene is at the Pilot Light for sure.
How did you first come across the Already Dead Tapes label?
So you know Josh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh is like best friends with one of my best friends from here, whose name is Jake. I think they were in a project together called like Yimsta or something. And I met Josh because he was here visiting Jake one time, and Josh was wearing a Pig Destroyer shirt, and I was like, "Yo, dude, nice shirt." And so that's how I got to meet Josh. And then we were working on putting out the record, and Jake brought up the fact that I should message Josh. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. I should do that." So I did, and Josh was stoked to want to put it out on Already Dead, and that was it from there. Which shouts out to Already Dead because they are so fucking cool.
Totally, yeah. Best label I've ever worked with, no question.
Yeah. Well, and I had already heard of you guys before I knew that you were on Already Dead as well. And then I saw Already Dead posting your stuff before ours was coming out. And that was really exciting for me because I already loved you guys.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're label mates. Woo!
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I like that.
Never saw that coming.
Yeah, I like that Already Dead doesn't focus on any one or even two types of music. I enjoy that.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Like I feel like could literally go any direction. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, shout out to Josh at Already Dead. You're awesome. We love you.
Yes. Thank you, Josh.
Sorry, my dog is trying to get up in my business.
Well, could we see the dog?
I don't think I could pick her up right now. She's like a pit bull. She's like 55 pounds. She might try to jump up eventually, but...
What's her name?
Her name's Ham, short for Hamon.
Okay. What's up, Ham?
Ham, someone said hi. She doesn't care. She's so rude. What a bee.
Gosh dang bee.
So is it fair to say, so like when bigger touring bands go through Tennessee, do they tend to hit Knoxville or do they usually just like end up going through Nashville instead?
I guess it depends. Like, I think Knocked Loose and Terror and Dying Fetus are playing here soon. I guess those would be bigger touring bands. But that's kind of like the work of someone named Lizzie from here at this venue called The Concourse. She's been kind of crushing it on getting bigger bands out here as well. And then more like smaller bands, but they're not, still like touring bands. And like the hardcore scene, my friend Jay has been bringing more of those bands out. And then we like tend to attract, like noise rock or like mathcore, like math grind type bands, which I don't know if are there any big current bands in those scenes right now? Probably not very huge ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm drawing a blank.
But we get our fair share of those through here. Like the Sound That Ends Creation just came through. I think the Wind in the Trees and Thin will be back sometime early next year. We also get some cool like weird death metal bands coming through. This band from Nashville called Skin Tension hit us up to book them up a show in October, which they're kind of like a free improv avant-garde death metal band.
Nice. Yeah, clearly I like weird metal bands.
Yeah.
That's where my jam is.
Uh, but yeah, we do get like it does seem like now really big bands are starting to come through. Um, but for like our scene, I guess we probably focus on getting weird, cool bands that we just want to play with, and that seems to work out well.
Nice. What's your favorite Pig Destroyer record?
Oh fuck. Either Prowler in the Yard or Book Burner.
Dude, yeah, Prowler in the Yard. That's totally my pick.
Yeah, I mean that's like that's the one that you have to pick, basically, right?
I mean, I think so. It would be so weird if someone's like, "Oh, that's my least favorite."
Yeah,
like, you're fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, Natasha's pretty cool too. I feel like kind of like how Agora Apocalypse gets ignored. I feel like Book Burner gets ignored for how good that one is too.
I remember not reacting as strongly to that one, but then it took me a while to get into Phantom Limit. First, I'm like, yeah, it's not Prowler in the Yard. It sucks. I'm like, oh, actually, this is pretty fucking good. Never mind. I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to like be really into a record from a band and then like be waiting for the next record based off that record and it be not so much like that one. You're like, man, this is stupid. And then like you give it some space. You're like, okay, well, it was good actually.
Do you ever have Rat Punch fans yell like, "No new shit, just play the first like EP"?
No, not at all. I think that has more to do with the lack of stuff that we've put out and maybe I mean most of our fans are our friends, I feel like, so
they wouldn't be dicks.
Yeah. How about you? Does Imelda Marcos ever get heckled?
There's a buddy of ours who likes to yell like, "No new shit," just jokingly. Shout out, Rich.
People react to the vocals.
I think the overwhelming response is positive. People like it. Man, you're turning the tables, dude. I don't like it. Yeah, people like Donna's vocals and foot played synth, and I think they think that it only adds to the band sound and makes it better.
Yeah.
The drummer Matt and I totally agree. It's like I don't even think it's an additive effect. I think it's multiplicative. It's way better, I think.
Yeah, just like expanding.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's generally how people tell us they feel about like the newer stuff that we've been doing. It's like, wow, this sounds like you guys, but you're like doing even more shit with that sound now, which is cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's like Rat Punch plus as opposed to like you guys I don't know, pull like a Kid A or something.
Yeah. Which we reserve the right to do at any point, but for now.
Yeah, same. Like there is a part of me that wants to try that and see like if I could successfully completely blow up the sound and still have it sound like Imelda. Yeah, we'll see.
You guys got any plans coming up?
I'm only allowing you to ask questions and turn the tables because I'm actually at the tail end of COVID number 2, and I did not write as many questions as I could have. So,
yeah. So in my head, this was an opportunity for me to talk to you. So,
well, which I appreciate because like we are approaching 9 years as a band, and no one has ever wanted to talk to us. So I'm flattered and honored that you cared. So the question was, are we playing out? Was that it?
Yeah, or like you just put out the EP, or you any other releases or anything in mind?
That is such a good question in the sense that I have a neatly packaged answer for you. Imelda Marcos, my band, shameless plug, is doing an August little short run around the Midwest with our pals from St. Louis, the Conformists. We're playing in Chicago, August 17th, Indianapolis, August 18th, Louisville, August 19th, and St. Louis, August 20th.
Fuck yeah.
I feel like a professional podcaster now.
I'll
I got all my plugs in.
have to check out the Conformists. I don't think I've heard of them, but I'm from St. Louis originally.
Oh, really? Yeah, I love St. Louis. That's my favorite place to play. That's my home away from home. Like, so many great weirdo bands have come out of that city, and it doesn't. There must be something like leaching in from the Mississippi River that's just makes people do weirdo music.
I didn't know that you were doing the Imelda MarCAST until I saw Charlie post the Imelda MarCAST episode he did about the most recent Extra Life album. I'm a huge Extra Life nerd. So I was very stoked to listen to that. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to tell him that we want to be on this.
And you're the first person I ever asked. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. I like Rat Punch.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
What's your favorite Extra Life record?
I would probably say, I know it's hard because a lot of them have like song, like my favorite song might be On Made Flesh, but maybe my favorite overall record is Dream Seeds.
I think that it might be the same for me. I love Dream Seeds.
Yeah.
What song on Made Flesh?
I knew that question was about to come, and I'm blanking on the name, so I'm looking it up right now.
Is it The Ladder?
No, it's like the like 11-minute song that's about being obsessed with going to the gym, I think.
Charlie has such weird lyrics.
Yeah. The Body Is True. Yeah. It's the last song on that record. But it has like the really long intro where it's just like dun, dun, dun. It just gets like noisier from there.
What's the length of the shortest song that Rat Punch has done?
I think on our very first like EP we released, there's like a 15-second song. And then from there, probably like 45 seconds. I think they usually tend to be like somewhere between 1:15 and 1:45. And we kind of broke ground recently into like the 2.5 minute mark. So the songs are only getting longer, baby. Give us 10 years, it'll be 20 minutes.
Damn.
No, I would like to stay in the shorter song realm.
Yeah, longer is. I mean, I must have a short-ish attention span, but yeah, I think shorter. I prefer shorter.
Yeah. I think we'll probably end up writing like some longer songs if we could ever get in a room all at once, all together for long enough. But feeling pretty good in the 1:45 to 2.5 minute range right now.
That's the money range.
Yeah. And we've even like set out recently, like, man, we want to make like another like 15-second song. And we'll start out with like an idea and be like, oh yeah, we should do this to it. And like have this follow it, because it'd be crazy if something that sounded like that followed that part. And then like, 3 hours later, like, man, this song isn't 15 seconds anymore.
So this is a vague question, but like, how do you know when a Rat Punch song is done?
There's a few different ways to answer that question. It's like, if we know what we want the part at the end to sound like, then we know where the momentum has reached that part, and then we just do that part. I think with the most recent song we put out, Palindrome, we wrote the middle of the song first, and we thought it would be really cool if, or maybe not really cool, we just thought it would be interesting for us to do at least, so to have the song structure basically be like A, B, C, D, C, B, A. like just the same structure backwards and forwards. So we just like fleshed out the middle part and then made the song a mirror image of itself. And then, you know, sometimes there's like, it'd be really funny if we ended this song with like this kind of left hook that like no one would be expecting to hear. And so like, okay, once we reach the momentum to get that in there, then it's done. Or if like, you know, the more climactic part happens at like the second third and we know we've reached that, that's like, okay, well, we can't just like end the song there. There has to be like some sort of resolution. It's like, okay, well, we have to fit like one more part in here and then we're done. So it kind of just depends on like where we start with the writing process and like what the goal of the song structure is and how we feel when we get there, I guess. But it generally seems to be pretty unanimous.
Like you'll just get to that point where just everyone just feels like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
I blanked my follow-up thought. Crap.
You're fired.
Oh man. But I need this part-time podcast to pay for my things.
Hey, there's money in podcasting?
If your name's Joe Rogan,
but maybe not in this kind.
Yeah, no. And yeah, this is such niche music that there's no money here.
Not a cent.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Shit. Okay, my dog started whining. Extra life.
Well, I have the. How do you guys work on the structure for Imelda Marcos music? Because I feel like it's more our songs. I feel like, you know, it's defined in like pretty clear parts, where it's either like, you know, ramping up energy, and then there's like some sort of like break or something, and then, you know, it kind of like ends there. But I feel like your songs are more elusive.
I think I've had two drummers point out to me that I tend to like write in some like a ABC song structure, which I guess if I may get pretentious and sound learned and educated, is consistent with Aristotle's idea of the 3-act play structure. But I guess in Imelda, the way we think about a song, we use like the sculpting metaphor that we just start with like a giant like rectangle of like granite, and then we carve out like the general outline of what we want it to look like. And then there's so much time spent on like, okay, so this kind of looks like a person, and then we're gonna like etch out like the eyeballs and then the eyelashes. How far apart are the eyelashes spaced? Like, is this guy or his eyes super close together? Are they far apart? Does he have a unibrow? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Kind of like the same thing almost. I feel like we do is like we approach a song with like, here's like one idea, or here's like something we want to accomplish with this song, and then like, okay, here's how that actually ends up in practice. So like, what can we do to either like work that into something as a more complete idea, or like where can we go from there?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Like, I don't think I'll ever be the type of person who could completely like demo like a song with like approximations for everyone else's parts. I don't think I have that skill set, and like I'm too lazy for that. It doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
To be in a room like, okay, now then you play this, and then this person plays this, and bam, it's done. It's not fun for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Or if like that, like if that has to be done just because like someone isn't there, then like, you know, they can always change it however they want.
Yeah.
I feel like even trickier question is like, how do you know when you have the right amount of songs for a release? And the answer for that for us is usually we've taken too much time to put something out. We need to put something out, and this is what we have.
Mm-hmm. So like it's not so much like a self-imposed deadline, but just the feeling of like we've been writing for X number of months or whatever, we should just force ourselves to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I kind of, at least with the Imelda full lengths, I wanted each full length to like decrease in the number of songs by one. But yeah, I don't know if we'll stick to that. That's just like a stupid like numerology, whatever.
Getting spooky.
Oh yeah, spooky numbers, bro.
You're terrifying me. I'm scared. Put that song back on there.
What's your vape brand?
Vaporesso. They're pieces of shit, but it keeps me addicted to nicotine real good. So
I love nicotine. Yeah, I want like a energy drink and then like a vape sponsorship. I don't even want like new gear. Just give me the juice.
Yeah. We're trying to get an El Jimador sponsorship. So El Jimador, if you hear this, hit us up. We're at the table.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a type of tequila.
Okay. Yeah, I don't drink enough, I guess. Change that.
No, you're probably fine. You're probably fine where you're at.
Yeah, take that, Mom. I'm fine.
So yeah, Already Dead. The EP came out on Already Dead too, right?
Yep.
I think I might have told you on Instagram, but how I heard about you guys is we played with this band from New York called Shake the Baby Till the Love Comes Out. And they were on tour, and I was just asking them about like what were like some of the cool local bands you guys played with, and they threw you guys out there.
Oh, that 2-piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember playing with them. Yeah. Oh, that's very sweet of them.
Yeah, that was like maybe like a couple months, maybe a month before like COVID stuff got real crazy. I haven't heard from them since, but if they hear this, hit me back up. Come back, Shake the Baby.
Shake the baby, please. How did you stay creatively fulfilled when like COVID was first beginning and we didn't know anything and everyone's like just scared to leave the house?
I guess we were just like I mean, there's probably like a solid month where we didn't really get together, but after a while we were just like, yeah, if you guys are feeling fine and you haven't had a lot of contact with other people, let's like get together and like wear masks and we can like work on music in the same room and stuff. And we just kept it going from there. And then that was like also when we started to record the album, which made it difficult, just because very fairly so, the person who was recording it didn't really want to work with more than like one person at a time. So we were kind of like piecing it all together. And like one person would record all their parts and we'd hear them and be like, this isn't quite right, or like, this isn't how we talked about it, or whatever. And I feel like that kind of extended the process of recording a lot, but what are you going to do?
Yeah. So normally would you guys prefer to record live, like all in the room together?
For album, yeah. Well, I don't know. Our music's so particular and stupid that it probably lends itself to like doing one instrument at a time. I think we record like guitar scratch tracks and then our drummer records to those and then go back over those and then do like bass and synth and vocals last usually. But yeah, you like for the EPs and stuff that we do, we normally just program like MIDI drums just because it's so much less work and cheaper. And then when we get back around to doing like a full album, we'll probably try to record like real drums again, just because it does end up sounding like that much cooler. And it's always way better to be like, yeah, our guy actually played this rather than he sat at the grid on Reaper and programmed these drums.
Yeah, I remember when Meshuggah put out Catch 33, no one thought, people just assumed it was Thomas Hawk playing drums, and then I think like a few months later, they're like, oh no, we just programmed that shit, and then everyone was mad, even though no one knew the difference.
Yeah, who cares? That's how I feel about, if you could cheat in the studio, then freaking do it. That's what the studio is for.
Oh yeah, I mean, you get to massage everything and move it around.
Yeah.
And yeah, just make it better.
I don't care if you can't play that lead with that harmony live. Do it. It's for the record, not for live. That's kind of how I feel about like recording versus playing live in general. Is like they're two totally different mediums. Why would you try to treat them like they're the exact same?
So with that being said, do you guys like, will you write songs for recordings that like you won't play live? Or do you guys make it a point like, if we record this, we should be able to play it live?
When we write songs, we will write whatever part that we think is coolest for the song. And then if it happens that like, we can't pull that off exactly right live, we'll try and figure out a way that we can at least get it, more or less across live. But I mean, the live show is way more about like being in your face and getting that energy out on like putting on a show than it is like, oh, here's this weird little thing going on. There's like two different harmonies going on in this lead, and they're like phasing differently. It's it's just two totally different experiences. Mm-hmm. So try not to worry too much about like, oh, well, we're doing this thing in the studio and we won't be able to do it live. So actually, even though it sounds cool, we're just not going to do it in the studio either.
Yeah. What's the weirdest comparison that you've gotten from a fan after a show? Like, dude, you guys are awesome. You sound like this band. And you're like, huh? Okay.
That's a good question. I know that there's probably been plenty. Someone told us we sounded like Car Bomb one time, which maybe isn't that weird, but to me, we don't really sound anything like them. I mean, I guess we both play like fast music with high-pitched guitar sounds, but Car Bomb is like way more intricate than our music.
Yeah, I don't think that comparison is like too much of a stretch. Like, I could kind of hear it, especially with like the first Car Bomb record. A lot of like this squiggly, the high-pitched annoying shit that I love.
Yeah. I think people just generally say we kind of sound like whatever metal band that they like that is somewhere in our wheelhouse. So I don't know if you had asked me this question right after someone had said something really funny, I'd probably have an answer, but I'm really bad at remembering stuff. I'm dumb as hell.
No, I think what you said is spot on, that people just compare it to what they know.
Yeah.
And then, because, yeah, that makes sense. If they have no other point of reference, how could they possibly make a comparison that's more akin to what the band had in mind when they were writing shit?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys sound like Tool. It's like, all right, okay, all right.
Yeah, I feel like if someone said we sounded like Tool, that would be awesome, I guess. We're like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think Imelda got that like once or twice early on, and we're like, well, I guess I see what you're saying. We'll take it because like they are a band that could actually play their instruments. So yeah, sure, man, totally. We're Tool, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I think when people say stuff like that, it's totally fair for them to just say whatever they like, basically, because yeah, they don't know what your influences are and whatever.
Have you ever felt like a bit slighted with like a comparison? Like, oh, dude, we're not going for that at all. But like, you're entitled to your opinion.
Have you ever felt unslighted by a comparison?
Unslighted?
Mm-hmm.
So like complimented?
No, like have you ever felt like comparison didn't make you feel slightly slighted? Like, have you ever received a comparison and you're like, yeah, that's the coolest thing anyone's ever said?
I think one time we got a Swans comparison, which I enjoyed. I couldn't say it's a direct influence, but I think there's like hints of shit in there.
Yeah.
Like the 10-minute song we wrote on like the second full length. Like the idea for that was, hey, let's write like a Swans epic. And then it took us like 2 fucking years to write a 10-minute song that we've only played like twice live. What a waste.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I guess there's probably been times where someone has said like a band that is like somewhere deep in our nest of influences. It felt really cool for them to say that, but I feel like usually it's like, oh man, I never thought we really sounded like that band. That sucks.
Yeah.
Not in any like real way, just in like a personal way. I'm like, dang, do we really sound like that?
No, I know the feeling, yeah. Oh, my question got away. God damn it. What was I gonna say? Okay, some Swans, comparisons. I don't fucking remember. I hope it's not like COVID brain fog, because this is like my second bout with the vid.
How long ago did you get over it?
Like, I think by tomorrow I'm technically okay to go out and do shit. I'm like feeling more or less like I'm at like 80-85%. Like, I don't know if I'm fatigued from COVID or because I'm just like lazy slob. I don't know like where that line is anymore.
I'm sure those things compound.
Yeah, I think they add up.
Either way, at least if it was COVID, it would be like an excuse instead of just a lazy slob, you know?
Yeah, I should start playing the COVID card.
Yeah.
It's like, I forgot how to play that part. COVID, sorry.
What are you gonna do? It's the new normal.
That is sadly correct.
You can't blame me for being 2 hours late to work. I had COVID 2 weeks ago.
And then I think you could kind of get away with that because that's like technically the safe thing to do. Yeah, relapse COVID. They don't want to infect anyone. Cough, cough.
Yeah.
Next week.
You said this is your second time?
Yes, number 2. I didn't even go out much, so it's like it feels very stupid that I got it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I got it from like indirectly from practice or some shit. I don't know.
It's probably all those doorknobs you were licking.
Doorknobs are tasty, man. In Chicago, we have these dope ass doorknobs. All taste like all beef hot dogs, Chicago style.
Yeah, they passed that bill, the infrastructure bill, to flavor all the doorknobs like hot dogs, and then COVID struck, and now Chicago's just fucking ruined.
Stupid Chicago. So you're originally from St. Louis, right?
Yes. Yeah, I grew up. Well, I grew up in a suburb of St. Louis on the Missouri side, but I lived there till I was like 18, basically.
So then, what inspired you to pick Knoxville?
It's just where my family moved.
Okay.
And I ended up going to college there.
What did you study?
Started out as neuroscience, ended with supply chain management, which like I couldn't even tell you now what that means.
That is like a massive shift.
Yeah.
Like, what was behind that?
Mostly the switch was because I wanted to play music and not have to try at school, and business school is incredibly easy, so I could just like hang out all day and never go to class and still pass all my classes.
That's pretty smart. Yeah, like I should have. Yeah, I majored in psychology, and I mean, it's too easy to say it was a waste. It wasn't, because I learned cool shit, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of a waste.
Yeah. I mean, I picked my degree too because like I thought it was surely if I get a business degree, I'll be able to get like some sort of job that pays okay money. No, and even if I did, I'd probably hate it and like not last there because I fucking hated doing it. So I just make pizzas now with my friends at work.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, could be worse.
What are your thoughts on pineapple on a pizza? Yay or nay?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite pizza toppings, but it has its place. Are you a pineapple hater?
No, I love pineapple on a pizza. I think it's so silly to like hate on it. And like people get like really mad about it.
Yeah.
Which is silly because then you're basically...
jalapeno pineapple is a classic pizza flavor.
I don't think I've had a jalapeno pineapple.
All right, well, I take back everything nice I said about you.
All right, episode's canceled. Sorry, everyone.
No, I think pineapple on a pizza is good. I think people who are like up in arms over it just think it's funny, probably.
Yeah, that makes more sense. As opposed to, I guess, for me, like the logical conclusion of that anti-pineapple sentiment is like, well, they should only make pizzas that like they made back in Italy 400 years ago, like in Napoli, with only like 3 ingredients made by an Italian guy who like chain smokes like hand-rolled cigarettes. Otherwise, it's all like fake or whatever. I don't know.
These are probably the same people who are putting like ground beef and bacon on a pizza, so they don't know what they're talking about.
There ain't nothing wrong with ground beef and bacon on the pizza.
I agree. I just mean,
yeah,
I doubt that was a classic pizza topping
back in the day. Yeah.
I will say I hate olives, so I also don't like them on pizza.
That's so interesting. Yeah, the bass player from the other band does not like olives, but like he loves just eating sardines from like a can. It doesn't make sense to me.
I think I like sardines. All right, I'm with him. What's his name? I want to meet him.
Dude, I should. Yeah, I mean, I totally want to bring that band down to Knoxville.
What band is it?
You're in Hell, also released on Already Dead tapes.
Nice. The other band I'm in called Cave Deca is we're gonna put out our album on Already Dead here in a couple months.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah.
What a great label. Best label in the world.
Labelmates 2 times over. Let's go.
Woo.
Yeah, Already Dead is so cool. They do so much. And like having a physical release of music was, something I wasn't sure was ever going to be a reality for me. And for them to make it like so easy and not like financially that scary is really cool. And they're always putting out great music no matter what it sounds like.
I love you, Josh.
Yeah, shouts out Josh. Thank you again.
I remembered my question. What are some bands or artists that people would not think you would listen to? Like they would think it's outside of your wheelhouse.
I really like Loretta Lynn. I don't know. I feel like I like. What's a musical genre you would think is outside of our wheelhouse? I was trying to kill a fly.
So the short answer is I don't know, because like I find that most people who play heavy music, they're able to listen to pretty much everything. Whereas someone who doesn't listen to heavy music, it's like so hard for them to get past the angry vocals.
Yeah. There's this rapper called RXK Nephew. I don't know. Have you heard of RXK Nephew?
I have not.
He's one of the funniest fucking artists out there right now. I love him. He has songs where he'll just like be on a rant for like 8 minutes long, and it's hilarious. But yeah, I like a lot of country. Even like Florida Georgia line shit. It's pretty fun sometimes. Everyone loves Chicken Fried. For going more like classics, obviously. Loretta Lynn, Johnny Paycheck. I don't know. I really like I mean, I feel like this is the annoying answer to give, but I don't think there's a genre of music you could pick where I wouldn't find an artist I like.
Okay, how about ska?
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm not well versed enough in ska.
Okay.
I mean, there's that Mighty Mighty Bosstones song, Knock on Wood, or the impression that I get, which I kind of just think is really funny. So I guess there's that song. I think, does Jeff Rosenstock count?
I don't know.
Um,
How about pop punk?
Okay, yeah, you are finding my weak spot. So the next one, you're gonna ask about folk punk next.
Oh, I would never ask about folk punk.
Let's see, pop punk. I remember liking like the first 3 Circa Survive albums when I was younger. Does that count? I think I could appreciate them now nostalgically. I kind of like Tiger's Jaw.
I still like the first Circa Survive record.
Yeah, Jaturn is a classic.
Yeah, it's a great record. I don't know if I'd call it pop punk. Whatever it is, I think it's great. But like that's something I don't think I could play in the van on tour because I would just get looks of like, what the hell is this? Why? They go, what is this emo shit? It's like, well, actually, you're not listening to it deep enough. The two guitars are independent of each other and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's not a lot of, I will chalk it up for at least ska. I bet there, because like ska is such a weird particular genre that there's got to be a band out there doing something really wacky with it now that like would probably tickle me. Pop punk, I don't know, probably not. Maybe I'll draw the line at pop punk. All right, I listen to everything except pop punk.
That works for me. I mean, I think it's fair to say like the first Mr. Bungle record has some like ska elements on there because they were heavily influenced by like Fishbone.
Yeah, I mean, and there's probably like 50 grind bands somewhere putting albums out on Bandcamp that's like weird combinations of like stupid grindcore and ska riffs.
I don't think, have I seen that live before? I think years ago my old band did play with like it was a thrash band that had ska parts in it, and it didn't really make sense, but they smashed those parts together. That's for sure.
I guess I'd say I like the. I mean, maybe this is gonna make an answer if there's any ska fans listening that will like make them find my address online and send me death threats. But I like the ska parts from like the 100 Gex songs that include them. Those are always fun.
Not familiar with that band.
How? I guess maybe it's just the circle I'm in, but I feel like they were like thrown in my face for like a year straight.
Say the name again.
100 Gex.
Yeah, I have not heard of that at all. Yeah.
Weird. Okay. Well, they're good.
Okay.
They're good. They have a song called Stupid Horse that's basically a ska song. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I'll make sure to write that down in like the section on like the YouTube page when I post this. Bands mentioned in this episode. There's going to be like so many for this episode.
I'm furiously drafting an email to you right now.
All right, let's close out with a quick lightning round.
All right.
Iron Maiden or Judas Priest?
Judas Priest. What's yours?
I guess Maiden. Yeah, I mean, I think I remember trying to listen to like Screaming for Vengeance on tour, and it just didn't click with me for whatever reason. I don't know.
Electric Eye is one of the greatest old school metal songs. Also, I think just like the place that Rob Halford lands himself in the canon is kind of interesting. So,
yeah, Halford's definitely more interesting of a person and character than old Bruce for sure.
Yeah.
Metallica or Megadeth?
Megadeth. I would fight anyone who said Metallica.
Like
I would
because
because I'm not that great of a fighter, but I'd try.
like this is how silly, like like when you're younger, like your music identity is like, at least for me, like it's the most important sacred thing. And I grew up in Metallica,
Yeah.
so automatically it's like, well, fuck Megadeth. And then years later, when I listen to them, like, oh, this shit's fucking awesome. This is great. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, like, high school Dave should have been bumping Megadeth.
Yeah.
So, like, that was
At
totally
least
my
like
loss.
the first like 4 classic records. Everything else by both of those bands is garbage.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
the first 3 records.
I heard like a single off the upcoming Megadeth record, and it's fine, but like, yeah, oh, I don't know, man. It's not for me. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not quite sure who it's for other than people who will just like anything that they do, I guess.
And the last one is Black Flag or Dead Kennedys.
I guess Dead Kennedys, but my heart tells me neither.
What hardcore band would you put instead in that question?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not like a hater of like hardcore punk. There's not a lot of the classic bands that like really ever wrote me in. If I was going for like stuff around that time, I'd pick more like no wave bands, I guess.
What a pretentious answer, man.
I'm fucking suck. I know.
No, it's what's your favorite no wave band though?
The Contortions are sick.
Oh hell yeah.
X-Ray Specs. Anything that like John Zorn touches. I need to pick an actual hardcore band answer. I know I have one. The first few Bad Brain records are sick.
And that's a solid choice.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, you turn on anything on, I'd bob my head to it. You know, I'm only mean for fun.
Yes, you're able to find the joy in all music, except for pop punk, which is understandable, I guess.
What? Blink-182 or Green Day?
Blink-182. Even though like one of the first CDs I bought as a kid was Dookie, I remember it not really clicking, but Blink-182 did. Like my very first band, we just played like the shittiest Metallica and Blink-182 covers. It was fucking awful. And we had like a GeoCities website, which I hope is not searchable online at all, because I would be so embarrassed.
Did you guys have a band name?
Overload.
Oh, that's probably impossible to find. You're in luck.
Yep. My embarrassing upbringing will not come back to haunt me.
I guess I picked Green Day just because I did like Dookie.
Yeah, like when I look back on it now, like, yeah, those are catchy tunes.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel like the only answer I gave that I'd really be willing to stick by was Megadeth over Metallica.
So what Megadeth record's your favorite?
Killing Is My Business or Peace Sells, probably.
Yeah, solid. I guess with like those classic records, there's really no bad pick there.
If I had to pick the worst one out of Megadeth's classics lineup, I'd probably say It's So Far, So Good, So What.
Like for the worst?
Yeah.
Mustaine is not gonna like hearing that when this gets back to him. His people are very litigious and angry.
I just fucking tanked our career. If there was no one else could be here from the band today, either because of work or whatever other obligations, but there would be people here who would be able to tell you pop punk they like if they could.
I just figured that you're like the band mastermind. You're like, no, guys, I got this.
No, I wish it was anyone else but me. Yeah, I'm probably like the band would tell you that I'm like the most annoying person as far as like being picky over music goes. But being an asshole is mostly just an exercise of fun, not out of any genuine, sincere feelings.
All right. So final question. When you guys did your run, your mini tour, who gets to pick the music in the van?
Well, I was driving mostly, so I did, but we take turns.
That was not the answer I was looking for, but I'll take it. You're more democratic than I am.
You say it's me and only me?
No, I just wanted to stick it to the Imelda drummer, Matt. Like, see, another person says that the driver gets to pick the music, because if you're not driving, you ain't doing work.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, that made sense because I was the one who was starting the car and then selecting the music. But yeah, usually it would be like, I'll turn on something until someone else is like, can we listen to this song?
So you heard it here first, folks. Seth of Rat Punch is not a dictator when it comes to the music playing in the van.
Well, that's how I feel about it, but maybe if somebody else was here, they would tell you a different story. Maybe they'd be like, dude, you're fucking lying, dude. You are an asshole with choosing the music in the car.
Well, yeah, next time I'll have to ask the rest of the band when you guys put out the next thing.
All right. That sounds like a deal.
All righty. Dude, thank you so much. This was a great chat, dude.
Thank you for having me on. And many
pleasure.
blessings to both Imelda Marcos and the Imelda MarCAST.
Thank you.
Very excited for what's next.
All right. Oh, lastly, where can people find your music?
Literally anywhere. It's on all streaming services. It's on Bandcamp. It's on YouTube. Just look for Rat Punch.